There have been a lot of young high school phenoms that got labeled generational talents, from Kevin Garnett to LeBron James to Cooper Flagg. Today, I will go over some of the biggest names in the last 15 years. Chet Holmgren has been crushing it in the league, and we always knew he had that dog in him. Even when he was a scrawny freshman in Minneapolis, you could tell he wanted to win. Despite only averaging 6.2 points and 3 rebounds per game his freshman year, his team won the state championship. Chet took a big leap his sophomore year. He played alongside Jalen Suggs since 6th grade, so he always had a great point guard he could trust. His second year of high school, Holmgren averaged 18.6 points and 11 rebounds and captured another state championship. The summer after his sophomore year, he went viral for crossing Stephen Curry at his SC30 Select Camp. His numbers took a fall his junior year, but that's because him and Jalen Suggs got so good, they would be sitting by almost halftime. He only averaged 14.3 points, but when he's got the keys to the team, it was a different story. His senior year, he averaged 21 points and 12.3 rebounds. Holmgren got every award you could think of: Gatorade National, Naismith, Morgan Wooten, Sports Illustrated, and Max Prep's National Player of the Year. Not to mention the unanimous #1 player in the country. He went on to play at Gonzaga. He played very well as a freshman, averaging 14.1 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 3.7 blocks. He chose to go pro following the season and got selected #2 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Luka Doncic has been better than anyone could have imagined. His road to the NBA started September 2012 when he signed a 5-year contract with Real Madrid at just 13 years old. He averaged 24.5 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 steals per game playing on the under-16 team. By the 2014-15 season, Luka was almost strictly playing with the under-18 teams. After this season, he went pro. He made his professional debut for Real Madrid in the Liga ACB. Through 39 games, he averaged 4.5 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 1.7 assists. Luka kept getting better and started his rise to prominence in the 2016-17 season. He was named EuroLeague Rising Star and the ACB Best Young Player Award. Luka was just getting started. In 2017, after an injury to the team's star player, Luka got handed the keys to the squad. Doncic won the EuroLeague MVP, becoming its youngest winner after averaging 16 points, almost 5 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game over 33 EuroLeague games. In 2018, he parted ways with Real Madrid and was selected #3 overall by the Atlanta Hawks and then traded to the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban has always been one of the best at taking chances on European talent. He didn't miss on this one. Luka averages 28 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 8.1 assists on his career. Jalen Green is one of the most athletic hoopers America has ever seen. But never say he's just a dunker. He is also one of the most prolific scorers in the last decade. In high school, he was ranked #1 in ESPN's Loaded 2020 class. This is the same class that included Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Suggs, just to name a few. Being #1 in that class alone certifies you as generational. But let's get into his accolades. As a 9th grader, he earned Max Prep's Freshman All-American Second Team and CIF Central Section Rookie of the Year honors. In his sophomore year, he averaged 28 points and 7.7 rebounds, leading San Joaquin Memorial to a Central Section Division II title and CIF Open Division playoffs. As a junior, Green averaged 30 points and 8 rebounds and won his second consecutive Division II title and the CIF Open Division playoffs. He decided to transfer to Prolific Prep for his senior year, where he helped lead them to win the Grind Session World Championship. He led Prolific to a 31-3 record and was named Sports Illustrated All-American Player of the Year. On top of that, he was selected to the McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic, and the Nike Hoop Summit. Jalen Green also won 3 gold medals for the U.S. His AAU career was impressive as well. He averaged over 18 points on 50% from the field on the Nike EYBL circuit. Cooper Flagg has been labeled the biggest prospect since LeBron James, and even called next Larry Bird. But that wasn't because of his skin color. The 6'9" forward put the NBA on notice that he's going to be him. Cooper was born in Newport, Maine, and I have to give you background on Newport. It is a town of 3,200 people. Somehow, they produce the coldest kid in high school right now. His first Division I offer came in 8th grade, and he went to Nokomis Regional High School. His freshman year, he became the first freshman to be named Maine Gatorade Player of the Year, averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and almost 4 blocks per game. Nokomis won the state championship, and Flagg decided to transfer to Mount Verde Academy in Florida for his sophomore year. Flagg averaged 9.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game in his first year. I know these numbers seem low, but you have to realize most of their games are blowouts. After the season, he went on to play for Maine United on the EYBL circuit. I just want to point out, you have to be elite to have a team built around you in the EYBL. Only a handful of players have received this treatment. He led a team with his twin brother and boys from Maine to the most prestigious championship in travel basketball at EYBL Peach Jam. Although they lost to the Boozer twins, his run at Peach Jam was historic. He averaged 25 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and maybe the most impressive, 6.8 blocks per game. The consensus #1 in all of high school basketball has also been impressive on the Olympic side of things. He was named the 2022 USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year for his performance in the Under-17 World Cup, and the youngest player to win the award. The scariest thing is that Cooper has accomplished all of this before turning 17. The amount of attention Emoni Bates got before turning 16 was actually crazy. Emoni was born in Michigan and raised in Ypsilanti. He was on a lot of people's radars in just 6th grade, and he was the #1 ranked player in 7th grade. By 9th grade, he was labeled the best prospect since LeBron James by 24/7 Sports. He averaged 28.5 and 10 rebounds per game. Entering his sophomore season, Bates became the youngest player to ever be featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated. As a sophomore, he averaged 32 points and 9 rebounds, becoming the first sophomore to ever win Gatorade National Player of the Year. His junior season, he transferred to Ypsi Prep Academy, a prep school his father started. He was one of 5 finalists for the Naismith Player of the Year award, and then he reclassed up to be in the 2021 class to bypass his senior year of high school. He finished his high school career number 3 in ESPN rankings behind Chet Holmgren and Jaden Hardy. Originally, he committed to Michigan State, but then changed his mind to play with Jalen Duren at Memphis. At just 17 years old, he entered his freshman season as the youngest player in college basketball. He had a few struggles at Memphis and transferred to Eastern Michigan for his sophomore year. In 30 games, he averaged 19.2 points and 5.8 rebounds. He put his name in the 2023 NBA draft, and Bates was selected 49th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He is currently cooking in the G League for the Cleveland Charge, where he's averaging almost 25 points and 5 rebounds. Remember, Emoni Bates is only 19 years old. He still has plenty of potential to become a problem in the NBA. Shabazz Muhammad had some of the nastiest ball is life and hoop mixtape videos of all time. But the hype wasn't just the videos. CBS college basketball analyst Greg Anthony called Muhammad a once-in-a-generation talent. Shabazz Muhammad was born in California and went to Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. He was a 4-year letter winner there and led all high school seniors with a 29.4 scoring average. Shabazz was named the 2012 Naismith Boys and Morgan Wooten Player of the Year. He even won the McDonald's Game MVP. Muhammad also won 3 state championships for Gorman. He was the number 2 rated player by ESPN and number 1 by Rivals. He committed to UCLA, where he finished the season averaging almost 18 points and 5.2 rebounds. He put his name in the 2013 NBA draft and began his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves. His NBA career was hampered by injuries, but he's still playing the game he loves in the China Basketball Association. Michael Porter was unlike anything we had seen at the time. He was 6'10" and had one of the smoothest jump shots we had ever seen. When you pair that with his ability to finish at the rim, you have a generational talent on your hands. Pause. Porter was born and raised in Columbia, Missouri. He had an amazing 3 years at Father Tolton High School and transferred to Nathan Hale in Washington his senior year. He led Nathan Hale to a perfect 29-0 record and won the state championship. He averaged 36.2 points and 3.6 rebounds, and one of Porter's biggest accomplishments is he completed the trifecta of awards by receiving the MVP of the McDonald's All-American Game, the Naismith Player of the Year, and Gatorade Boys National Player of the Year awards. Porter was a part of the 2016 USA U18 team that won a gold medal in Chile. He talks about injuring his back in the summer before his senior year of high school on his former AAU teammate Trae Young's podcast. This back injury held him out for most of the year at Missouri, and he came back too soon in the NCAA tournament. When getting ready for the NBA draft, an NBA doctor said he may never play basketball again. The Nuggets gave him a shot at 14 overall, and he sat out his rookie year to get healthy. That worked out for Porter and the Nuggets, as he was a key part of their championship run. Josh Jackson is one of my personal favorites in the last 11 years following high school basketball. At 6'8", his game could be compared to Paul George because he played both sides of the ball. Josh Jackson was number 1 in both 24/7 Sports and Rivals Class of 2016 rankings. He was born in California but raised in Detroit. As a freshman at Consortium College Prep School, Josh averaged 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks. As a sophomore, he led the team to their first state title. He averaged 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Prior to his junior year, Josh moved to Napa, California to play for Prolific Prep. As a junior, he averaged 31 points and 5.4 assists. His senior year at Prolific, he averaged almost 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game. On top of the success in high school, he also won 3 gold medals with the USA. The McDonald's All-American MVP signed to play at Kansas. He was one of the best freshmen in Kansas history. He broke records with the most double-doubles with 13, the most field goals made with 220, and he was second in scoring average with 16.3. He was drafted number 4 overall in the 2017 NBA draft. He had a solid rookie season and was named to the NBA All-Rookie Second Team. Since then, Josh Jackson has struggled to stay on NBA rosters. And now it seems as if he's done playing basketball as far as I know. If you know anything, comment below. Zion Williamson is one of the most freakish athletes we have ever seen. He has always been a great player, but between 8th and 9th grade, he grew 6 inches. By his sophomore year, he was 6'6". But believe it or not, he wasn't on anyone's radar until the summer before junior year, when he was at the MBPA Top 100 camp and he was the leading scorer. His junior year is when he went insanely viral. He averaged almost 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game. Y'all remember the Zion era and Drake rocking his jersey? In his senior season, his games were a zoo. Everyone wanted to get a glimpse of one of his signature dunks. He led Spartanburg Day School to 3 state championships. He ended his high school career ranked number 2 in ESPN's 2018 class. He committed to play for Duke. By the time he was a Blue Devil, he was 6'7", 285 pounds. He went on to be drafted by the Pelicans. If he can stay on the court, he's going to be scary. Victor Wembanyama is the definition of a unicorn. The 7'4", 19-year-old is going to be a problem in the NBA for years to come. He possesses the height and skill set of a player you can only make on NBA 2K. For those of you who don't know, Wemby was born in Le Chesnay, France. I think the first time everyone took him serious is when he cooked Rudy Gobert in pickup. Rudy was just coming off of the Defensive Player of the Year award. This was in 2020 when he played for Nanterre. He won the Pro A Best Young Player award. In June 2021, he signed a 3-year deal to Asvel. He won his 2nd consecutive Pro A Best Young Player while playing for Asvel. He averaged 9.4 points and 5.1 rebounds per game in the league. After the season, he chose to opt out of his contract. Last year, Wemby went on to sign a 2-year contract with Metropolitans 92. He gained a bunch of recognition from American media when he played 2 exhibition games against NBA G League Ignite. In the 2022-23 Pro A season, Wembanyama had become one of the most dominant players in the league. At the end of the regular season, Wemby became the youngest player to win LNB Pro A MVP award. Victor declared for the 2023 NBA draft. San Antonio Spurs got him with the number 1 pick in the 2023 draft, and he's already shown shades of what he can be. He's averaging almost 19 points and over 10 rebounds per game, but he needs to get that 44% field goal percentage up. My prediction is he will be the best player in the league in 4 years. What do y'all think? Anthony Davis was clearly going to be a special talent. Born and raised in Chicago, as most of y'all know. But what y'all might not know is he went to Perspectives Charter School. In junior high, this school was so small, it didn't even have a gym. And AD had to practice at a nearby church. He was known as the little guy who would shoot threes from the corner. The bigger he got, the more questions surrounded. Why is he not going to a better school? His senior year, the Perspectives Charter School finished with a 6-19 record, but that wasn't the Browns' fault at all. That season, he averaged 32 points, 22 rebounds, and 7 blocks per game. His school size really held him back from winning national awards, but he was still a finalist for the Wooten and Naismith Player of the Year awards. He played his college basketball at Kentucky, as I'm sure most of you remember. His freshman season was incredible. He won National Player of the Year, Final Four Most Outstanding Player. Obviously, he's had a great long pro career where he's an NBA champion. Cade Cunningham was the lead guard for arguably the best high school team ever assembled. He led Mount Verde Academy to a 25-0 record in the 2020 season. Their average margin of victory was 39 points. Cade is a 6'8" point guard from Arlington, Texas. In high school, he won virtually every big individual award, including the 2020 Naismith High School Player of the Year. Cade was ranked the number 1 player in the 2020 class by Rivals and 24/7 Sports. In AAU, he was the national MVP of the prestigious Nike EYBL circuit after averaging 23.8 points, 7 rebounds, and 5.7 assists. Cunningham also won a gold medal in Greece. At Oklahoma State, he was the first player in program history to be named to the AP All-American First Team. Cade also won the Wayman Tisdale Award for being the top freshman in college basketball. He was the #1 pick for the Detroit Pistons and done what he could do to improve the team. However, the Pistons haven't been able to win a game, but they finally snapped that losing streak. Harry Giles is one of the best players out of the Hoop State, North Carolina. Harry was born and raised in Winston-Salem. He was considered the #1 player in the 2016 class, ahead of guys like Jason Tatum and De'Aaron Fox. Giles' high school career was very interesting because he dealt with knee injuries frequently. He actually missed his entire sophomore year of high school due to that knee injury. His junior year, he averaged almost 24 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game, leading Wesleyan Christian Academy to a 30-5 record. After that summer, he played with EYBL for Team CP3 and averaged 18.2 points and 12 rebounds. He decided to go to high school basketball powerhouse Oak Hill, where he unfortunately tore his ACL in the first scrimmage game with Oak Hill. He signed with Duke. Giles missed some more time due to the knee injury and ended up appearing in 26 games for Duke, averaging 4 points and 4 rebounds. The Sacramento Kings took a chance on Giles at the 20th spot in the 2017 NBA draft. Although injuries have affected his career, he has still shown he can play. Mind you, this is the kid that owns 3 gold medals as a member of Team USA. He's currently on the Brooklyn Nets roster, averaging 3.9 points on 52% from the field. Jabari Parker is arguably the most decorated basketball player to ever come out of Chicago. He attended the prestigious Simeon High School. Jabari got going quick his freshman year. He was the first freshman to start in Simeon history. He averaged 19.3 points and 5 rebounds, and they won the first of his 4 state championships. He earned ESPN High School 2010 Freshman of the Year. As a sophomore, he was ranked top 5 in the country. Jabari averaged 15.3 points and 5.9 rebounds per game, while his team won his 2nd state championship with a 30-2 record. Following his junior season, Sports Illustrated put him on the cover with the title, "The Best High School Basketball Player Since LeBron James." Entering his senior year, he was a consensus #1 in the 2013 class. Parker led Simeon to its 4th consecutive Illinois State Championship with a 58-40 victory over Jalen Brunson and Stevenson High School. His senior year, he averaged 18.4 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks. He finished his high school career with 2 gold medals with USA and ESPN #2 in the class behind reclassed Andrew Wiggins. Jabari was named National Player of the Year as a senior and committed to Duke. He played 1 season for the Blue Devils, averaging 19.1 points and 8.7 rebounds. Jabari was selected #2 overall to the Milwaukee Bucks. His NBA career was hampered by injuries, and now he's playing for FC Barcelona. Like he said, basketball is bigger than the NBA. It's a global sport. I wish Jabari nothing but the best. High school Ben Simmons was a bad man. The 6'10 guard from Australia came to the States as a sophomore in high school. Ben committed to LSU because his godfather was an assistant coach on the team. Without the pressures of picking a school, Simmons thrived. His junior year, he averaged 18.5 points, 9.8 rebounds, and led Mount Verde to a 28-0 record. His success continued his senior year, where he averaged 28 points and almost 12 rebounds. He helped Mount Verde win 3 straight national championships. He garnered virtually every National Player of the Year award, Morgan Wooten, Naismith, and Gatorade National Player of the Year. He ended up being ranked number 1 in the country by every scouting service. When he got to LSU, he dominated. Ben was the consensus National Freshman of the Year, and he was named SEC Freshman of the Year. He averaged 19.2 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 4.8 assists per game. He also became the 4th freshman in the past 20 years to have a game of 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals. The 76ers drafted him number 1 overall. Unfortunately, he rolled his ankle and broke a bone in his foot, so he had to sit out before his rookie season even started. His second year, he won a controversial Rookie of the Year award because he technically wasn't a rookie. His third and fourth seasons, he was All-NBA. The last few years have been disappointing for Ben, but he's averaging 6.5 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 6.7 assists for the Brooklyn Nets in just the 6 games that he's played this season. I am hoping he can get fully healthy. He's still got something left in the tank. Jahlil Okafor is arguably the most accomplished big man of the last decade. The 6'11 center was bred in Chicago, Illinois. He went to Whitney Young for all 4 years. His junior year, averaging 20.9 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 2.9 blocks. By the time Okafor was a senior, he averaged 24 points and 11.3 rebounds, leading the team to a 28-5 record and a state championship. After his senior year, he played in the McDonald's All-American game and earned MVP. Okafor was named Morgan Wooten 2014 National Player of the Year. He was the consensus number 1 in the 2014 class by all recruiting services. He won 3 gold medals for the U.S. and was named MVP in the 2012 FIBA U17 World Championship. After his storied high school career, he committed to Duke. He averaged 17.3 points and 8.5 rebounds his freshman year. He won a national championship. He declared for the 2015 NBA draft and was selected 3rd overall. His rookie season, he was named to the All-Rookie team. However, he was unable to gain traction within the league, and now he plays professionally in Spain. Jason Tatum was the first player I ever filmed when he was just in 7th grade. Obviously, his game has improved since then. Tatum was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. He is one of the most decorated high school basketball players in the last 10 years. Coming out of high school, he was ranked number 3 overall by ESPN and Rivals. For high school, he attended Chaminade College Prep. He averaged 13.3 points and 6.4 rebounds his freshman year, and he took a huge leap. By his sophomore year, he averaged 26 and 11 rebounds per game. His junior year, he had some of the similar numbers: 26 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game. Prior to his senior year, he made a verbal commitment to Duke. Tatum went crazy his senior year. He averaged 30 points and 9.1 rebounds. Not to mention, he had 6 40-point games while leading Chaminade to the state championship. He received Gatorade National Player of the Year award, and Tatum also won 3 gold medals with the USA basketball program. His freshman year at Duke was outstanding. Tatum played 29 games and averaged 17 points, 7.3 rebounds, and he was named to the ACC All-Freshman team. He went one and done and was selected number 3 overall by the Boston Celtics. I'm sure y'all know what he's doing now, but the 4-time NBA All-Star is one of the best players in the NBA. RJ Barrett was the first player since LeBron James to sweep all major awards in high school and win the national championship. The Canadian guard began his high school career in Canada before transferring to Mount Verde. His sophomore year at Mount Verde, he was named the National Sophomore of the Year by Max Preps. His junior year, he reclassed to 2018 because he believed he was ready for the next level. All the awards he received prove he made the right choice. According to 24/7 Sports, RJ Barrett is the third highest ranked recruit of all time based on their composite scores. RJ went on to play for Duke. He got drafted by the New York Knicks. And now, as of new news, he's going to play for the Toronto Raptors. 6'10" forward Marvin Bagley was a man amongst boys. He was born and raised in Arizona. As a freshman, he played for Corona del Sol, where he won the state championship and was named National Freshman of the Year by Max Preps. His sophomore year, he transferred to Hillcrest Prep, where he had a short stint before transferring to Sierra Canyon. Before the season got going at Sierra Canyon, he was deemed ineligible to play for that season. In the summer before his junior year, he went crazy for the family in EYBL. He averaged 26 points, a league-high 15 rebounds, and 3.1 blocks per game. As a junior at Sierra Canyon, Bagley averaged 25 points and 10.1 rebounds. He was recognized as the 2017 Gatorade California Player of the Year. Following his junior year, Bagley was ranked number 1 in the 2018 class before reclassing up, where he maintained the number 1 ranking in the 2017 class. He chose to forego his senior year and enroll at Duke. In 33 games for the Blue Devils, he averaged 21 points and 11.1 rebounds. After that year at Duke, he was selected number 2 overall in the 2018 NBA draft to the Sacramento Kings. After 4 years with the Kings, he was traded to the Pistons, where he has been for the last 3 years. Andrew Wiggins was one of the best prospects from the mixtape era. Guys like John Wall, Shabazz Muhammad, and others went viral. Wiggins was born and raised in Canada, and he attended Vaughan Secondary School. He led the school's team to a 44-1 record en route to winning the Ontario Provincial Championship. In 2011, he transferred to Huntington Prep in West Virginia. During his sophomore season, he averaged 24 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game. Following his junior year, Wiggins was ranked number 1 in the 2014 class before reclassing a year up, where he maintained the number 1 ranking in the 2013 class over Jabari Parker. Wiggins was the first Canadian to be named Gatorade National Player of the Year and Athlete of the Year. On top of that, he won the 2013 Naismith Player of the Year. He committed to Kansas, where his success continued. Wiggins set the Kansas freshman single-season scoring record with 597 points. He was selected first overall to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves a few months later. Wiggins was with the T-Wolves for 5.5 seasons before spending the last 4.5 with the Warriors. Wiggins secured a championship with the Warriors, and he was a crucial part of the team's success. Nerlens Noel was ESPN's top prospect coming out of the 2012 class. At 6'11", he could move well. The New York Times described Noel as the best shot blocker of the generation. His offensive game needed work, but he wasn't letting anything easy slide. He was a year after Anthony Davis, so you know the basketball world. We love comparisons. When he committed to Kentucky, he was being called the next AD. As a senior in high school, he averaged 12.6 points, 3.9 blocks, and 7.2 rebounds per game. Unfortunately, in February of his freshman year at Kentucky, he tore his ACL. Prior to the injury, he was projected number 1 in the 2013 NBA draft. He finished his first season at Kentucky with 4.4 blocks per game. It was no surprise he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He began his NBA career with the 76ers, and he's been solid in the NBA when he's been able to be healthy. Career averages are 7.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.